All right. So, keeping up with the interviews for the Wixosstore tournaments, we had done the interview with the person that played Mono Blue. We have done probably, well, it will be uploaded before this one, the person that got third place. And today we are here with someone that got second place, and from the people that watched the last interviews will probably know you because last
Yeah,
tournament you got third place, and this tournament you got a
sweet
place
second
up.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I hope I advance even next tournament to first place at this point. Like,
yeah,
isn't a chance one. I hope it keeps going.
yeah. Every tournament went up, and then when you get to first, you stick there.
Yeah, then I go to zero, like the supreme player or something.
Yeah. Get
Yeah.
like first place 10 tournaments in a row.
Yeah, today I'm here again to talk about my experience, my deck, and all the good stuff.
Hmm. So, did you end up playing No Limit again?
Yes, I did because I was still grinding the for the perfect list or something, and
Hmm.
also I didn't have like a big better deck to build. I purchased card jockey in the like middle of the tournament, or like at least last round I could play it, but I just wanted to go on a full run with no limit because I was already there, so might as well just go all in.
Hmm. Yeah.
And actually pretty like worked for the most of the tournaments since second place, so means I basically went against the now first place person and lost. So throughout the whole tournament it worked.
Hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, I just made some important changes, I will say. Even if it's few cards, it's very important cards, I guess.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's kind of it. You
Should
want me
we?
to show the deck list or?
Sure. I was gonna ask if we should go over the deck list or the changes.
Okay. So for the Eric deck, actually, it was, I guess, untouched. I don't remember if my rays were the same. So the basic level zeros, then the Rana chain, yeah. Then this level one. Can you help me, Eden? Did I have this like last tournament? I
Uh,
remember. I think I didn't. I think I had the level like the level one that just drew two.
yeah, I think you had the one that draws. Just
Yeah,
to be, I think I have it here still.
it's just draw two and this draw one, discard one at random for your opponent's hand.
Hmm.
So actually, the only change I'm made for the Eric deck, which is not even that flexible, I would say. Um, I like last time I justified my level one saying I didn't want to break, etc. Like I wanted a consistent end,
Hmm.
but thinking about it again and again, I was like, if I have to break, is probably one card is not gonna change the thing. So might as well just try to discard more stuff from my opponent's end, try to hit those guards, try to potentially break my opponents, and yeah, all that. Like just hitting cards your opponent like one one in end, and also you're having advantage overall because you're gonna discard to the following turn.
Hmm.
So you're on top of this, you're discarding many cards. So yeah, I felt like changing it. And the Akinos are untouched, and as well as the pieces. and go to the top again is insane, and there's not really other better piece to play in this format currently.
Yeah.
For,
I
for
just
no name.
I played against that deck the other day and go to the top just
Yeah.
as soon as
Even
I
if you
read it properly, I'm like, wait, I can't
uh,
guard? Then what do I do?
go for Glory Girl, I mean,
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
always
Go to the
mistake
top.
the
Yeah, well,
names.
yeah. And go to the top. Just burn three enters from your
Mhm.
opponent's energy zone, and even if your opponent is not like if you're not actually playing it, your opponent has to play around it, which is annoying. Like even if you end up not having enough energy.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Then the main deck, I don't actually remember. Yeah, I remember a bit of my last deck list. So level ones, of course, we have four guards.
Mhm.
We have four Zhaoyuns, and now I got the fourth one,
Mhm.
which I didn't have the last time. Four Romels, and now is three Sira and one Ares, which I think I didn't have last time. Ares
Mhm.
is just draw one and charge one, and I like having my removals, as I said last time, my removal life burst. But I think Sira multiple times. It maybe was useful, but in the end, even using Ares, like triggering Ares, which doesn't do much on the field, by the way. But like, I like the triggering Ares, which is draw one and charge one.
Mhm.
And yeah, I just didn't need the four probably. Not something I want to see multiple times.
Yeah.
And this was it for the level ones, which are 16. So like having my ratios consistent. Then for the level twos, for Lancelot, three helium, always kept like that. And one volcanic, which is just a level 2 with a good burst, which is uh, the same of Sira, so vanish an 8k or less on board. Doesn't need to be up. And this is just a card I like to have because
Mhm.
like it's a good trigger. Is a level 2 to kind of have those ratios of 16 um, 8 level 2s and what counts like like in the level 3s, which I think the ratios is 12. Uh, is it? Lapsus. Yeah, I think it should be 12, like 16, 8, and 12 level 3s is the
Mhm.
ratios usually. And this is just a big guy you put on board because not many people are on no limit for for some reason. This is the first tournament I've actually played against some no limit decks,
Mhm.
and this is just a big guy you put on board, and if they're not on no limit. A 10k is very big because card jockey can just remove with ease 8ks or less.
Mhm.
So this is good. Even just to play, even if you don't trigger it. Then we go into the part that changed the most. Here I'm not playing any playset. I think
Oh.
the most copies of a card I have is three Argings,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
my level 3 wall. Level 2 I have Ilium, level 1 I have Zhao, and
Mhm.
this is just my level 3 wall. If I don't want to particularly go into some removal play push, I just do this and I'm good with my board. Not really using the effect to dig for cards because I don't need more cards usually, and it's expensive.
Yeah.
Then Turo Quartz. I now have these two. Before I had the three, but uh, it's just you're not very much using it, and later on we're seeing a card that I'm just gonna spoil it. It's Kagutsuchi, and that kind of solves the problem if you like feel the need of recurring arrow squirts from trash, or either just uh, do something else with your sources. Because with this, you don't want to use it. If you're using it, you're forced to use it because you have to push extra damage through your your opponent's bigger columns,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really expensive if you're using it and you're not usually you're using it one in a game, and even if it's very expensive, etc. is just a card you don't want to miss out because it's 12k or more. Is it? No, it's 12k or less if I remember. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
12k or less, and it's just the removal of the biggest stuff in the game. Yeah, I think the only thing it doesn't need is like Chandelier, which is at 13k, and all the
Mm-hmm.
rises like Nobunaga that is still at 2 because 2 is the good ratio. And then I put in a Mars actually. I undervalued this card. I'm sure there's a better word for that, but this is the one that comes to my mind right now. I undervalued this because it's not really something you want to do because the first effect, which is remove a enter from your opponent enter zone, which doesn't share a color with your opponent's central rig.
Mm-hmm.
And you do that when you vanish a Signy, like you're not really doing much. It's just one less enter, but on turn 3, you really want to push for those damages and try to score the win in that turn. And I think for that purpose of enter starvation, the discard 3 and do assassin, so get over your opponent's Signy, might come in handy. And the one off is just a commitment I am willing to take because then I can go to the top on that if I need that to like close a game without giving my opponent an enter. Also, if I'm go to the topping, I'm also earning 3 enters from from my opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like chirurgical burning of enter, and you're assassin triggers discarding 3 red cards, which if you have, you're probably going all in on like at least I do usually. You're gonna all in on level on turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
So you will need these cards next turn. You just can dump everything in your hand if you have cards. It's kind of dangerous because I have like Ilium, Zhao, and my Argane here. And also, servants are not considered red cards.
Mm-hmm.
Only in Honor they are like colorless,
Yeah.
multi Honor. Yeah, this is just a tech I kind of wanted. Most people usually have this on their first version of the list. Like I've seen many people list with this, but yeah, I never liked it much.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put 2 Kagutsuchis for the same for like one of the reason is the same reason for Mars, which is you don't really need your cards in the end game. And also with this, I'm not afraid of energizing stuff like this, stuff like this, stuff like this, which I will surely energize. I think this is the card I energize the most from this sort of
Mm-hmm.
game. And before I was worried when I had 3. Now I have 2, and it's even worse because I would energize one maybe at your first turn. Then you have two potentially in deck on your life clots. Life clots means you're losing on that, and maybe you're forced throughout the game to energize another one.
Mm-hmm.
And with Kazuguchuchi, this you don't have this problem of having your best cards away for like forever because
Mm-hmm.
again you have no uh, to record cards from trash except like Akino the Turk or Agard, which doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, also the guards itself themselves, but yeah, it's just also it got a cool trigger, I guess, because you can pick a Signy without a guard from your trash and either put it on your end or put it on board. So yeah, there's some potential of like your opponent attacks you, and if you were like um, if you are on the right limit of two, etc., you can just Lancelot. Like there is a chance it happens. It would be a really cool play, like Focalor style.
Mm-hmm.
But you're just playing Lancelot on a lane still open, and pop something on another lane. So we won. You're stopping two attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just serves this purpose perfectly. But didn't feel like to put more two more.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, I have two Tobias, which is like just something I like against stuff like Uchu, which like if I'm playing against it, I'm working with a limited amount of resources. And in general, if I just wanna see my cards, if I wanna search for something specifically, and also I really like the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just a card I really like. And lastly, of course, we have the four Deafening Infernos.
Yeah, of course.
Uh, Crazy card, like I think is the best removal in the main deck, like in any main deck in this meta.
Mm-hmm.
Just pay one, any 10k buy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really cool. I think this is I will not change my deck. Like this no limit list is the ultimate uh, no limit list from me. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I will ever change it for this meta. Also because it's like ending in 2 weeks or
Yeah.
less.
In a little bit.
So yeah, the just I think the is the 20th version of this deck I had.
Oh.
And yeah, put some work on this in this meta.
Yeah.
And for my matchup, actually, I went against Pure Blue,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the Pure Blue deck on the round one, which guys is the I guess is the video before this. Like it was uploaded before this,
Mm-hmm.
so go check it out, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I went against No Limit, and I was kind of surprised because no one is really on No Limit. I
Mm-hmm.
guess most people don't like the linear plays, and it's right, I guess, on their end. Then round three, I went against Uchu.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, yeah, card jockey,
Mm-hmm.
and then against Uchu round four, and then I lost the my final match against the first place, which played no limit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no limit intensive compared to other tournaments
Yeah.
I play.
I believe last tournament last month you didn't play against any no limit, right?
Maybe I think none to one. Like it
Mm-hmm.
was either one or zero. I think it was literally zero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I played mostly against like I clearly remember playing against Sambaka. So
Yeah.
that's 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 a thing I remember. But yeah, this time I had a pretty good pool of decks, like the
Mm-hmm.
blue and then all the new decks set
Yeah.
diagram.
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently diagram doesn't appear that often.
yeah. Actually, at the server I talked about last time, uh, it won two tournaments in a row,
Oh.
and I've always got beaten by that. Because just for some reason, I think it's just a matter of uh, ease on removing their board. I'm always losing if I'm going second against diagram. So
Mm-hmm.
my general rule is against no limit. You want to go second to not let them push you on like starting on. You don't want them to start pushing you from their very first turn,
Mm-hmm.
and they probably do that with Romeo's Deafening Infernos, etc. And against any other deck, playing the card jockey deck I'm playing lately, I've seen going first is actually good. So my general rule is just second against No Limit and first against everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else about these matchups and everything that you played? Uh, any big difference? Any deck that you believe, besides the No Limit, any other deck that you believe you have like a rougher time? Still not like a bad time playing against, but
Diagram if I'm going second,
second, just that.
and yeah, and card jockey, which
Mm-hmm.
I even when I just had uh, No Limit, I thought it was like probably the best deck of the format, even over No Limit, because uh, one like quote of mine is No Limit can win games but not tournaments. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I've got proven wrong here because first and second place are No Limits. But I think if you're going against like experienced people, they know what you're doing, and
Mm-hmm.
I think the sickness of this is just the Eric deck, which is not really flexible. They're gonna maybe add more cards to the end in prevision of you doing Ray, discarding their cards. They know you're gonna glory grow. They know you're gonna go to the top, or at least you have it in Eric deck. Of course, the Hirana chain is the same, and then Akino is always the same, and you have just one. Usually, you just get to use the first effect to bounce one,
Mm-hmm.
and that's so linear. I think it might just get sniped and played around really well, or at least like I did. I never feel good playing No Limit. It's like it's pure fluid. It works every time,
Mm-hmm.
but what it does, it doesn't. It don't feel enough for some reason. So I found card jockey to be pretty consistent in its win condition,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's just even if I build this defensively, like with a defensive package, etc. Like the best I could, I always feel like rough playing this deck because probably it's just my opponents knowing what I'm doing, so just play around it.
Yeah.
And probably I think every deck is interesting right now except Ancient Surprise, which is I think just better No Limit. Then Sambaka is still valuable for to some extent, but of course is like there's not many changes you can apport to that,
Yeah.
and which is interesting because it's a unique strategy built the right way. It has some pretty good threats. Karjoki is like the ultimate war with no limit.
Mm-hmm.
Diagram, even that built the right way. Like of course Uchu and Diagram in the the last fourth deck are on the bottom of the meta. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that.
Yeah.
Um, I think is if there's just someone a bit experienced behind the deck with some thought process behind the deck, I think they can maybe not consistently bring it to the top, but I've seen every deck like winning, topping in my like tournament experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just I think it's just a matter of really just experience.
Yeah, for sure.
And also for like the nature of Wicross, which every deck can win.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think every deck can win in this game because there's just too many things that can go very good you very bad with your opponent. Like, I won a local with some baka with no SRs because my opponents all bricked somehow. Every deck can win out there,
Yeah.
and of course, yeah, if you have some skill behind that, you're lapping the luck.
Yeah, yeah. I think knowing the deck and what it can do and knowing the matchups and everything is like a big step to being able to win with the deck and everything.
Yeah,
Because if it is someone that is playing the deck for the first time against someone that has been playing it for, let's say, a few months or a few weeks,
yeah.
uh, the experience with the deck, knowing what they should be playing and when and how to use the cards and everything is always like, it's a big difference.
Even if the most of the gameplay is put up build up an offensive board and at the same time do your best to good stuff on board to not get removed, work with your runner so you're using that defensively and offensively, and all this stuff. At the end of the day, there even with these arguments, there are lines you don't have you cannot like take. There are paths you cannot walk against some decks. Maybe you wanna do some other play, and even with slightly different lines in every turn, you can achieve something like a win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like throughout the turns, you can build your win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, some other thing is, since set two is coming up in like 2 weeks or whatever that we talked before,
Yeah.
have you looked into cards that you might want to add to this deck or something like that?
Mm, Actually, I've looked into most of the set. Like I think, yeah, the set as a whole, I looked into multiple times, but
Mm-hmm.
in the end, I just remember some of the pieces, like some bit of them, and all the SRs.
Mm-hmm.
And then some maybe card that is not really an SR, and because most of the time I thought about that set. Like how I could that set could my no limit deck benefit from that? Also because I really don't like I didn't like Akino Central at first
Mm-hmm.
because what it does is removing stuff and you're doing that with your whole deck. But recently I've looked into that again because I wanted to read it again, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just like if that ends up being better than Hirana is like a matter of the fact that you're discarding cards to remove stuff and you're not paying enter, and that might be a big deal in the
Mm-hmm.
long run. And actually, if I had to put cards in this deck, it will be just one card in one of, which is Phoenix,
Mm-hmm.
which you're not gonna play more than one or two copies because you cannot physically like play more of that to
Yeah.
make it work because Harmony down one white. Yeah, you cannot play that like multiple times if your objective is closing the game on turn 3 or 4,
Mm-hmm.
and that is just this. But then, as I said, now I'm card jockey lately, and think the new Love It line is really interesting with the potential of having a pseudo to the top in your area deck using just Love It downing your level 2s. Then you can go to the top again and then you can Phoenix for one more enter. Like, you have the potential to burn 7 enter. I don't know if that's actually a thing, but I'm really like I'm kind of thrilled by that. Like, I want to
Yeah.
try that out and I see the deck in general how it goes, and I really like the in general the line of Eric's the on disrespect etc. So I think I'm gonna switch deck if
Mm-hmm.
Akino, like, if this stays the same as I said I will build it, and Akino doesn't end up being like better or being so interesting, I will probably stay on card jockey most of the format.
Mm-hmm.
Also, people are, the fact what's it called, diagram is getting real better. I see cards for diagram definitely, but I don't know if that's enough to put that up there. It's definitely
Mm-hmm.
getting better, but I don't
Yeah.
know how much better, because I feel like just card jockey has more options now,
Mm-hmm.
and the PC is still insane,
Yeah.
and yeah, no limit. Like, you have to see if it gets up there,
Mm-hmm.
or just gets better of odds of winning because it just got better.
Yeah.
And Uchu, I think it doesn't change. Like, there's no change for that. I think I've looked into the commons and commons. Not even there. There's something that can directly like benefit the strategy. Even in the SRs, there's something color related to Wushu, which is cool, but I don't think there's something like towards the discard. There's not anything that impacts a lot the discard mechanic,
Mm-hmm.
except the ZR02, I think it's called. Is the if you discarded to get your opponent minus 8k on something.
Oh yeah.
That's a really cool card, but other than that, if I remember correctly, there's not much to it in the deck.
Yeah, there are a few
So,
cards that freeze stuff and help a bit of the removal with frozen signies, but yeah, I feel
they have
like
to make.
yeah, go for
Very
it.
good. Okay. Uh, I think unless they're making something really broken and exclusive for the first mechanic, is not getting up there in the meta in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it really much feels like just one more effect on a card that does nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, and in regards of diagram, like we get the new center, Madoka Center, but that changes the deck in
You're
like
missing on your Madoka assistant.
yeah, and the deck changes drastically. You basically want to play almost mono blue. And well, the only thing that I really like on the set that is coming to diagram is, let me look at the name. Do I can't remember it. I know I have it written
ZR,
down, but
ZR02?
oh, it's Phalaris, I believe.
Oh yeah. The
Though
kill one Signy mill 10 of
yeah,
your opponent's deck.
yeah. Since I'm
And I've been debating with people about the card, because if you just add that to the milling strategy, you're not
mhm,
refreshing your opponent like throughout a normal game of 3-4 turns. I don't think you're milling your opponent for like, I don't know, like other 40 cards. Like, okay, you can do that one time, two times, okay, but you're not getting through the lane, and also like you're not getting through the lane for milling me,
mhm.
and you don't how you mill 40 cards off me.
Yeah, that's that's the problem. It's like it adds a bit to the milling thing, but it's like you can play one of those per turn because you have to don two
Yeah,
tool rigs,
yeah,
and then that one mills 10. Then you have Landling that mills 5
yeah.
on attack, and then you have your piece that mills 15, and that's everything you have to mill your opponent.
Yeah. Like usually, like talking on the no limit side of it, they struggle. They usually struggle to not struggle, but they're there on my refresh on this deck.
Mhm.
Like they're gonna refresh me like one time, and they're gonna fatigue on that, and then they have 40 new cards they have to
Yeah,
get rid of. Because at that point of the game, I'm probably on down on clots, so my clots will be actually in the trash. So I'm shuffling those back too.
yeah, going back into the deck.
I don't know, like I don't know if I'm just blind because like I don't see the strategy or something. Because the couple of people I talked this with said no, it's like very like oh, no problem, you can do that. You can do that probably against jockey, sure.
Hmm.
Because yeah, if I'm playing like normally and then you refresh me with your piece, then I have to dig some more on my turn because I just have to and again my level ones. So at that point is something
Hmm.
because I'm milling myself. Like I'm literally amping you on your win condition,
Yeah,
and like even if I'm refreshing two times, also might happen that I'm on zero clots the moment you do that the second
yeah.
time. I don't know, like I'm sure I'm blind. The people, the people that were so sure about this were dead sure on this. I'm just gonna
Hmm.
trust and really wanna see how diagram shapes and see what people come up with.
Yeah. I've been testing some stuff out, but I'm still like I played like a game with cards from set 2. Um and I haven't
Guess
played
it's
much more.
annoying finding people.
What, sorry?
Guess it's annoying finding like people to actually test online on online simulators for with new cards.
Yeah, I like I haven't had that much time either lately, but
Yeah, yeah,
uh yeah, I've tried a few cards. Like Phalaris is this thing. It kind of helps you, but I'm running 2 on the deck because to be
yeah.
realistic, you shouldn't really be
Yeah.
running more than that, I believe, because it's like 2, 3 maximum.
Maybe three. I don't know. I think Ink is just the one of the these limited stuff like Nobunaga. You can't really play more than some in a
Hmm.
game. Even like rose quartz, you're
Yeah.
not allowed to play more of that. And
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe you wanna play 3, 4 consistency. Like you wanna see two in a game
Hmm.
because I don't know, like 3 and 4.
Yeah. Well, with all of this and even talking about set 2, I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to talk about, tournament decks, cards. I think we touched a bit on everything, which is on the
Yeah, yeah,
deck, on the
we really
choices.
did. I really
Yeah.
did also. I, I think I wanted like a couple more weeks for this format to go just to be sure on a couple stuff, but I'm pretty like filled with this meta,
Mm-hmm.
and I played it a lot, and I'm just like I can't wait for changing Diva, which is not
Yeah.
like a big core set that gives us new decks, but definitely brings some really good main deck cards that, in my opinion, do crazy stuff, and I can't wait for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We get more card choices and everything.
Yeah, yeah, just having a wider card pool
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
is what the game needs.
Because right now we have pretty limited one.
Yeah. And for shoutouts, I guess
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just gonna link you a bunch of servers. I guess you're in already, and wanna like uh, upon all the servers, I'll shout out again the Loot Car Shop server, which is the server I'm playing in every Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's really cool. Like I think that right now is the best place to with Wixosstore to play online tournaments
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
always consistent participants,
Mm-hmm.
etc. So yeah, that and more servers in case you wanna expand your knowledge and knowledge in general of the Discord and Wixos community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. All right, then if we are, I guess this wraps up everything. We've talked a bit about almost everything.
Yeah,
So yeah, once again, I said this last video. I say this again. Thank you so much for accepting to do this once again. Uh, I just like the community has been really welcoming. People have been sending some messages sometimes, helping out, giving some ideas and stuff like that. And I really enjoy that kind of stuff. And if anyone that is watching this right now, if you have any ideas for any other content that I might do, anything fun like that, just or well, I'm in the Wixosstore Discord. You can go there, find me, and shoot me a message, or you can join my own Discord. It's still growing. The majority of the people there are friends of mine, but you guys can join in and give your ideas, give me your ideas and such, so I can look into it, do some of that stuff if I can, because it's like I said to the in the interview with the person that played Monoblue, I like to see people doing deck profiles, but I feel like I'm not the right person to do them, at least for now. So the best thing I can do is interview people, talk about them, about their decks, their experience in tournaments, and all of that kind of stuff, so I can grow my understanding of the game and grow everyone else's, because these people know how to play the deck and all of that stuff.
thank thank you for having me, NXRL. I People really like this channel, I guess.
Well, I hope people keep joining, keep watching,
Yeah,
subscribe if they want to see more of this stuff. As I've been saying, I'm gonna try and do this every month now, at least for the Wixosstore tournaments. So yeah. All right
I
then.
guess we can wrap this up.
Yeah. Once again, just thank you for allowing me to do this.
No problem, no problem. And bye for me, guys. Do you like the video?